Welcome to SEPAM. This is the part 2 video that will solve the IGCSE Mathematics Paper 2 Variant 2 October-November 2022. Solve in detail step by step. The part 2 contains question 13 to 23 of the paper. Like I said in paper 1, the paper 2 has total duration of 1 hour 30 minutes and you have the total mark for paper 2 is 70 marks. So we have in paper 1 we considered question 1 to 12, and then this session is a concluding part of the paper. So as you jump in, I know you will learn new things. So let's go in and finish off the paper. Second part of the video, question 13. This is welcome to the second part of this video, IGCSE Maths Paper 2 Variant 2 October-November 2022 solution with Orishije Matthew. Question 13. The table shows the information about the mass of 50 students. We have their mass, and then we have the cumulative frequency. Okay. None of the students have a mass less than 20 kg. 7 has their masses less than 22 kg. 23 have their mass less than 24 kg. Then 35 have their masses less than 28 kg. And 43 have their mass less than 32 kg. So when we want to plot this information, draw the cumulative frequency to show this information. So we'll use the upper class boundary. So we have this, and we have our value here. So using the upper class boundary, the first one, the upper class boundary there. So the first plot there, then next, let's plot for less than 24, plot for less than 28, less than 32, then less than 36, and then less than 50. So if we have those values, then you connect it with your curve. Then they say use the graph to estimate the 9th percentile. So the 9th percentile, that is 90 over 100 multiplied by the cumulative frequency, the total frequency, that will give us the 45th mass. So the 45th mass, let's try and locate it. So from here, 45, draw a horizontal line and trace it to the line. So if you track it down, so that gave us 34.5 kg. Question 14 tells that you have 136 girls and 144 boys. So this is the bus and whisker plot for the boys jumps, and then this one is for the jumps of the girls. Now there is something we need to remember quickly. Each jumper jump a distance, every jumper that jump a distance greater than 160 cm, that is this length of jump, gets a certificate. work out the total number of jumpers that get a certificate. So we want to find out, but the bus and whisker, so let's just review one thing so that you can have a better understanding of this plot. This point here gives the minimal, this is a minimal value. So this is a minimal jump recorded by the girls, while this is the minimal jump recorded by the boys. Then this first line here shows the lower quantile, that is the first 25% of the jumpers, lowest jump of the jumper, that is the first 25%. So 25% of 336 girls. So this gives the value of their jump. Then this middle line gives the mean, so the media of their jump, that is half of their jump. So we have Q2, so that is the 50%, and then this line gives the upper quartile. So this gives 75% of the jumper recorded this, and then this value gives the maximum jump. So from year to year you have 25%. So if this is 75%, this is 100%, so 25% here. So with that, how many girls? So let's look at the point, let's mark the length. The jump that will qualify them to get certificate is 160 cm. So we mark out that 160. So what the numbers of girls that get the jump is going to be, so from 50% of the girls will get certificate. So let's calculate 50% of the girls. 50% of 136 girls, that will give you half of them, 68 girls. Then for the boys, 75% of them did not qualify to get a certificate, but from the upper quantile to the maximum, 100%, so 25% of them is going to get a certificate. So 25% of the boys, that will give 36 boys. So how many jumpers will get certificate? 68 girls plus 36 boys. So that is 104 of them will get certificate. Question 15. The diagram show a quadrilateral. The quadrilateral means four-sided. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give a geometrical reason why this is a cyclic quadrilateral. A cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral with all the four sides. The vertices are lying on the circumference of a circle. So this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now, give a geometrical reason why it's a cyclic quadrilateral. For a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angle opposite these two, the yellow and the blue, add up to 180. Then 85 and 95 add up to 180. So that is to tell you that that is a condition of a cyclic quadrilateral. So opposite angles add up to 180. Question 16. Shade the region indicated in each Venn diagram. G intersection H prime. So everybody outside H. So this is the intersection. The whole of this space here is, that is the element in the universal set but not in the H, is H prime. So, and then the intersection of G with that H prime is this portion of the G that is not in H. So the blue portion is the shading for this. So let's look at this. J union K prime then intersection L. So that will give you this shield here. So each one mark will give us the total 2 mark here. The Venn diagram shows some information about the number of elements in sets A, B, and C. Given the following information, complete the Venn diagram. So the total number of elements common to A, B, C, A intersection B intersection C, that is the blue portion here, common to everyone, is 1 element. So you put the 1 there. So that one has been completed. A union B union C prime, that is the orange outside ABC. So that is the complementary set of the union. So that if you add the orange to the 3 circle, we give you the universal set. So how many elements are there? 17. You have 17 members. Then the set C, the total number of elements in set C, that is 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus this blue section, we give 42. So let the blue section be X. So that we can find the value there, add everything, we give you 42. So solve for X, 42 take away 10, so X is 32. So write 32 in place of S. So you complete the Venn diagram. So question 17. Some function mapping a function. A, find the value of f of s when s is equal to -3. So you substitute anywhere you see s. So f of s minus 3. So anywhere you see s, you put -3. That is -2 multiplied by -2. So f of s is 9. Then we have the inverse function of g. What is g? G is equal to s plus 5 divided by 2. So what we want to do now is the inverse function of g is the value of y. You want to find the value of g. For you to get the value of the inverse function of g is the value of g. From the value of g, you cannot get the value of x. So you are going in the opposite direction. So you use y to get s. But when you use s to get y, that is g of x. So how do you get the inverse function? So what you need to do, replace g of s with y. So that will be this. So what we need to do, make s subject of formula. So you have 2y is equal to s plus 5. So what is y? Y is equal to, s is equal to 2y take away 5. So that will become x. So what we need to do to get the inverse function, this value of y, also write it in terms of x. So the inverse function is going to be replace y with s. So g of s is equal to 2s take away 5. So that is the way you calculate the inverse function. Now, g of f of s is equal to h of h inverse.
and to give you 63. So let's start with the right hand side. And what is h of s? H of s is equal to 7s take away 3. So if you map this, this is the domain. It will give you this value. So if you map this into this, it will give you this value. So the g of f of s, now what is f of s? F of s is s squared. So anywhere, what is g? G of s? G of s is s plus 5 divided by 2. So what you are going to do, so let's start with, you are now mapping f of s, that is s squared. Anywhere you see s, you replace it with s squared. So that will give you g of f of s. So that's how we got this. So all we need to do is replace s with s squared. So this is the left hand side. Then let's go to the right hand side. The h function of h inverse 63 gives you the same value. So if you have that, so this is an identity. H of h inverse as a function of s will give you s, whatever value. So that means h of h inverse 63, we have the value 63. So let's substitute and form an equation. Left hand side equals to right hand side. So therefore, s squared plus 5 is equal to 63. So cross multiply. S squared is equal to 63 times 2. Then to make s, take away 5. Then s squared is equal to 121. So what is s? Square root of 121. So that will give us plus or minus 11. So, and then they say that find the value when s is greater than 0. So you take only the positive sign. So question 18 have to do with write 0.419191919, that is this decimal point, as a fraction in the simplest form. So you say let 0.41919 be equal to, let s equal to this value. So next, multiply both sides by 10 and next again by 1000. The reason is because this first 4 is not part of it. So we do that. So s multiplied by 10 will give us, multiply both left and right by 10. So it will give us 10s equals to 4.19. Continue the pattern. Then next, multiply by 1000. So 1000s green is equal to 419.19. Next, subtract the red from the green. So we have that. If you carry out your subtraction, 990 is equal to 415. Make a sort of formula. So s is equal to 415 divided by 990. What can divide both of them? So 5 can divide through. So that will give 83 over 198. So that is a fraction we are looking for. Question 19. Kate picks a number at random from the number 2, 5, 2, 3, and 5. She picks a number again at random, the second number from 5, 6, 7, and 9. So let's hear the outcome table. The first one she picked 2, 3, and 5. Then the second one she picked from 5, 6, 7, and 9. So she adds the two number. The answer is even. So let's add the two number. So assuming she get the first one, she get 2 and 5. Okay, then the next one, she get 3 and 5 here. And let's look at the condition of our experiment. You say the number end even. So 3 plus 5 even, that is 8. So all the even number will be having a yellow background. So the next one, she gets 5 and 5 is even, yellow background. Then let's look at this place here. So 2 and 6 is even, 2 and 7 is odd, 2 and 9 is odd, that is 11 total. Then look at 3, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3, 7 is even, 10. Then 3, 9 is also even, that is 12. 5, 6 is odd, 5, 7 is even, then 5, 9 even. So what is the total number that is even? Sum even. So total even is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the total possible outcome is 7. Now there's another condition. Find the probability that exactly one of the number peak is 5. Exactly one of the number peaks. So how many of them are 5? So if you look at it, so only 1 5, 3 5, 5 6, and 5 7. 5 5 is having 2 5, so you cannot be part of this. So you have, how many has exactly 1 5 is 3. So what is the probability of picking a number exactly 1 5? Probability of picking a number exactly 1 5 is going to be 3 over 7. So simplify indices. Bracket open, 81x raised to power 16, bracket close, raised to power 3 over 4. So expand. So 81 is same thing as 3 raised to power 4, multiply x raised to power 16, then bracket close, raised to power 3 over 4. So open up the bracket, so multiply each of the term by 3 over 4. So we have this, so 4 cancel 4, we are left with 3 raised to power 3. Then this go into 16, 4 divide 16 will give me 4. 4 times 2, that is s raised to power 12. So that gives us the answer. 3 raised to power 3 is 27, so we are finished. So this B1 is the first mark, then the method mark, then the answer mark. So that is why we have that. Then B. Now 1 over y square, remove the fraction. So indices, any number at the bottom, if you take it to the top, become -2. So y raised to power -2 all raised to power half. Half is the same thing as square root. So let's open up the bracket and multiply. So -2 multiply half, 2 cancel 2, you are left with -1, multiply -1, that will give us y raised to power 1. And then, so because it's a square root, so you have plus or minus. So your answer is that plus or minus y that can satisfy this condition. Question 1 have to do with cone. So we are looking for the volume of a false room. So if you have a big cone and you cut parts of the upper cone, so you are left with a solid shape here. This shape is called a false room. So how do we do that? So quickly, the easy way to find this is calculate the volume of the large cone, then subtract the volume of the small cone that is trimmed off. So the large volume of the large complete cone, take away the volume of the part of the cone, the small cone that is cut off, will give you the volume of this false room which is left off. So the first thing we need to do is to find the diameter of the base of the cone that is cut off. So the diameter here D. So we're going to use proportion. So since we are dealing with capacity, volume, 3 dimensions, so we say the base of the large cone 9.2 divided by the height of the large cone is proportional to the base of the cone that is cut off over the height of the cone that is cut off. So how do we get the height of the cone that is cut off? Height of the cone cut off is going to be the height of the complete big cone divided by the height that is left. So that will give us 7. So make the diameter, sort of formula, so you cross multiply. 12.5 take away 5.5, that gives you 7. So the diameter of the cone that is cut off is 5.152 cm. So now we are ready to calculate the volume. So because we know the height, this 7, and then we know the height of the big cone, 12. So from there, we can use this formula given to us. Since the formula has been given to you, you don't need to state it, you just apply it. So what is the volume of the first room? Volume of the solid is going to be volume of large cone, take away volume of the cone that is cut off, Vs. So let's find the volume of the large cone. So what is the radius? So we have 1/3 multiply pi, multiply by the radius. Radius is diameter divide half of the diameter, so radius square. Or you can calculate the radius and substitute directly. So multiply by the height. So if you solve that, that will give you the volume of the large cone is 276.984 cm3. So let's calculate the volume of the cone that is cut off. So substitute volume of the cone that is cut off, use the same formula again, V 1/3 pi multiply by, so you know we have calculated the diameter, so if you have that, times 7, so that gives us this value. So the volume is 48.643 cm3. Now how do you get the volume of the solid? Subtract the volume of the large from, supply the volume of the small cone from the volume of the large cone. So that gives 228.341 cm3 approximately. To once in to one decimal place, that will give you 228.3. Question 22. The volume of two mathematically similar objects are 56 cm³ and 875 cm³. The height of the smaller object is 18 cm. Find the height of the larger object. So we're going to use the scale factor. So the ratio of the volume, so we have the ratio of the height, because it's 3-dimensional object, so that will be height cube raised to power 3 is equal to the ratio of the volume, larger volume divided by, so that is how you use, so this is scale factor. So if you do that, so we are looking for h, the outer volume, so we have h cube divided by 18 cube is equal to the volume of the larger object divided by volume of the smaller object. So with that, we can cross multiply. So that gives us h cube. So whatever gets the cube root of both sides. So okay, I decide to simplify the right hand side, then get the cube root of this. So your answer is 45. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
Yeah, question 23 is about solving algebraic fraction. Show all your working. So first of all, let's find the lowest common denominator, which is the product of the two fractions at the bottom. So we have this. So use this to multiply each of the term so that we can remove the denominator. So you multiply the first term by that, you can see the similar term, you cancel out. Multiply the second one, then multiply 3 with it. Next, so let's cancel out what is similar. So you see that, so you are left with 4 into 2s take away 5. The second one, 2s minus 5 is common, cancel it out. So you are left with 2s plus 1. So for getting to this level, you have your mark, method mark. So that is 2 mark. Then multiply out the right hand side. So by so doing, we have eliminated the denominator. So it's now a linear equation. So next thing, let's expand and factorize. Then you collect like term. So we have that 4 multiply 2s will give us 8s. 4 multiply this minus 20. 2s plus 2. Then this expand. So you take, so with that, up to this point, you have your 4 mark. If you can successfully solve to here, out of the 7 mark, you have gotten 7 mark. So let's go. Now we can collect like term. So if you have this, negative 9s, negative 10s, that is negative 19. Then negative 15 plus 19, that will give us, take the sign of the bigger number, that is plus 3. So solving to this place, you have one more extra mark. So you already have 5 mark out of the total 7 mark. So we can now use the quadratic formula to get the value of s, because you are solving the equation, so you are supposed to know what is the value of s that satisfies this equation. So using the algebraic equation, so we can do this. The value of s is this formula, which is called the quadratic formula. So substituting, we can get the value of s. So for substituting or factorizing, you have 1 extra mark. So simplify this. So the whole of this bracket is equal to plus or negative 17, square root of that. So if you have that, so you take the first sign, 19 plus 17 will give you first value of s, and 19 take away 17 will give us the second value of s. So with that, the first value of s is, that is 36 divided by 12, that will give us 3, and then this one will become 19 take away 17, 2 over 12, that is 1 over 6. So these are the value of s. By so doing, we've completed the solving. So that brings us to the end of this paper 2, variant 2. Subscribe to CEPAM so that you will be noticed when other similar videos are produced. Thank you for
subscribe, and we will help you to easily upgrade your performance to an A+.
CEPAM is the solution to better grades.
Thank you for watching.